coming to Washington, let's talk about the taxes. Happy Monday! Welcome to your Monday market update. Gosh, I haven't said that in a long time. The last couple of videos I posted about living in Washington, one thing keeps coming up in the comments. Taxes. And I've seen plenty of Washington taxes are high. And you know what? In some areas, they absolutely are, okay? I'm not going to sit here and pretend otherwise. When I'm helping someone decide whether to move to Washington, buy a home here, or sell and move somewhere else, I don't think looking at one tax tells you the whole story. The question I care about is, what is it actually going to cost you to live here? Because the price of the house is only one piece of it. Before we jump in, if you are new here or you've been here a while and you're not following the channel yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button, okay? Every week I break down what's happening in the Washington housing market and what buyers, sellers, and homeowners actually need to know before making a move. Quick disclaimer, I'm a realtor, okay? Not a CPA. So no, this is not tax advice. And if your tax situation is complicated, talk to your tax professional, okay? But from a real estate perspective, these are the numbers I want my clients paying attention to. First, let's talk about income tax, all right? As of right now, 2026, Washington does not have a traditional individual state income tax. So if you're moving here for a regular W-2 job, you generally aren't seeing a Washington state income tax percentage coming directly out of your paycheck like you would in many other states. Depending on where you're moving from, that can absolutely make a big difference. But here's where people get tripped up. No traditional state income tax does not mean Washington is a low tax state. Far from it, okay? No income tax sounds great until sales tax introduces itself. Hello, sales tax. Hello, I'd like to take all your money, please. No thanks. Washington collects revenue in other ways, and yes, you're going to notice some of them. There is also a change scheduled for 2028 affecting very high income households with a 9.9% tax on Washington taxable income above a $1 million standard deduction, okay? That won't affect most households, but if you're a high income earner, business owner, or investor relocating here, that is definitely a conversation to have with your CPA before making a major real estate decision. Sales tax. Yeah, you'll notice that one. Washington has a 6.5% statewide sales tax, and then cities and counties can add local taxes on top of that. So in Seattle, for example, the combined rate is over 10%. So when people jump into my comments and say, yeah, but your taxes are high, this is the one area where I get it, okay? You buy furniture, appliances, you remodel the kitchen, you go out to eat, you feel it. And if you're relocating here and furnishing an entire house from scratch, welcome to Washington. But from a real estate standpoint, I'm much more interested in what happens after you find the house. Attention buyers, the list price is not the whole payment. This is where I see buyers get laser focused on the wrong number, okay? You're scrolling online, you find an $800,000 house, and you calculate your down payment. You look at the estimated mortgage and you think, okay, I can afford this. Maybe. That house might look cute online. I want to know what it costs when all the bills show up. I want to know the actual property taxes on that specific home, because property taxes can vary depending on location, assessed value, local levies, school districts, and other taxing districts. So two homes with similar purchase prices can have completely different monthly costs, all right? That matters. When I'm helping a buyer compare homes, I'm looking at the mortgage, the property taxes, the homeowner's insurance, HOA dues if there are any, maintenance, and then what the house is going to need after you buy it. Because qualifying for an $800,000 home and an $800,000 home actually fitting comfortably into your life, well, there are two completely different things. Just because the lender says yes doesn't mean your life says yes. I want the numbers to work after you get the keys too. Sellers, your sales price is not your net. I'm assuming you know this, but sellers, you have taxes to think about too. One of the big Washington specific expenses you'll hear about is REIT, a real estate excise tax. Washington uses a graduated REIT structure, and for most traditional residential sales, that is typically a seller expense. This is why I spend so much time talking to my sellers about their net, not just their sales price, okay? Someone can tell you your house is worth $1 million. Great. Unfortunately, escrow does not hand you $1 million check and send you on your way. We have to look at your mortgage payoff, okay? REIT, closing costs, possible buyer concessions, and anything we need to spend getting the house ready for the market. Yes, I know there's money spent there. We want to make sure it makes sense. So that's a whole other video. This is also where my interior design background comes into play, okay? I'm not walking into your house and telling you to renovate everything because, well, it would just look better and prettier. Quite the opposite. If you're going to spend $20,000 before we list, I want to know what that $20,000 is actually doing for you. Is it helping us sell faster? Is it improving your return? Is it something that buyers are going to object to? Okay? If not, I don't want you spending the money. We are not remodeling for fun. We're selling a house, all right? What about capital gains? This one creates a lot of confusion. Washington does have a capital gains tax on certain long-term capital gains, but Washington state capital gains, guess what? That tax does not apply to the sale of real estate. So when homeowners hear Washington capital gains tax and immediately think the sale is taking a percentage of their home sale, that is not how this particular tax works, okay? That does not mean selling a home can't have other tax consequences. Federal taxes are separate, and investment properties, large gains, and individual circumstances can change things. That's where I want you talking to your CPA. But Washington state capital gains tax itself is not imposed on the sale of real estate. And yes, your car may enter the chat too. Another cost that surprises some people relocating here is vehicle registration and transportation related fees, especially depending on where you live around the greater Seattle area. For example, when I was living in Kirkland and King County, my tabs were about $500. What? That's a car payment. Then I moved to Bothell, Snohomish County, and guess how much they are now? They're like $100. Don't you go thinking about getting tricky, okay? And before someone comes for me in the comments, yes, I know the tabs can hurt, okay? Is that directly part of buying a house? No, but it absolutely matters when you're deciding where to buy. Maybe the house farther out is $100,000 less. Great! What does your commute look like? What are you spending on gas, tolls, transportation? How much time are you spending in the car every week? Wanting to rip your hair out. Saving money on the house, although it's nice, doesn't automatically mean you're saving money overall. So, is Washington expensive? In a lot of ways, yes. I've lived here long enough that I'm not going to sit here and tell you Washington isn't expensive, okay? I live here, I have the receipts, and if you've been in my comments telling me our taxes are high, I hear you, but my job as your realtor is not to convince you Washington is the right place for you. My job is to help you understand the numbers so you can decide whether it makes sense for you. If you're moving here from California, Texas, Illinois, shout out Illinois, Florida, Arizona, or somewhere else, your financial picture could look completely different. And even within Washington, buying in Seattle, Bellevue, Bothell, Everett, Tacoma, or farther outside the metro area. So for buyers, I want to know, what is the actual monthly cost? What are the property taxes? What does the home need? What's the commute? What are you gaining by buying there? For sellers, I want to know, what are you actually going to net? What is it going to cost to prepare the home? Where does it make sense to spend money, and where are we just wasting it? Because the cheapest house isn't automatically the smartest financial decision. And the highest sales price doesn't automatically mean the seller made the most money. The numbers have to make sense for your goals, your lifestyle, and your situation. So if you're thinking about moving to Washington and wondering whether the taxes really are as high as everyone says, the answer is, it depends on what you're comparing. Don't look at one tax. Look at the whole cost of owning the home and living your life here. And clearly, some of you have a lot to say about Washington taxes. So keep the comments coming. If there's another cost of living in Washington you want me to break down, put it in the comments. I do read them. And it helps me know what you actually want to hear about, okay? And if you're thinking about buying, selling, or relocating anywhere in the greater Seattle area and want to understand what the numbers actually look like for your situation, Call me. I hope you guys have the very best Monday, all right? And an even better week. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.